Very rarely a movie comes along that hits 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, but we have one here in Psycho Killer talking this movie, and I'm here to tell you why your favorite critic is wrong about this one. This is Minor League Films. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. Got my guy Scotty with me. Without further ado, let's jump into it. So, Scotty, the world-renowned Psycho Killer. Now, what I will say is this movie dropped a trailer that really had a lot of people interested. The trailer looked very interesting, had a lot of graphics in there, a little bit demonic stuff. So it definitely intrigued people. Go to see this movie, came out. I think we both feel about the same. It's like, it's solid, but you go to Rotten Tomatoes, you go to look at some scores, a 0% critic score on this one, 35% audience score. So this movie has not been well received. We're going to tell you here why the criticism is a bit undue for this movie. So, Psycho Killer synopsis, pretty simple here. We got a highway patrol officer. Her husband gets killed on the side of the road by a killer. He drives off. She's not able to catch him. She says, you know what? I'm set out for revenge, so I'm going to track this guy down, and basically he's tracking him down across the country. Very simple premise here. Very simple movie setup, but it feels like maybe audiences and critics both came in expecting a little bit too much from this movie. Would you agree?
You know what? I guess so. I guess they expected this movie to be like Halloween or Nightmare on Elm Street or a Jason Voorhees movie. I didn't expect that. First of all, the movie is called Psycho Killer.
Yeah,
I knew it wasn't going to be that serious of a movie. It wasn't even taking itself seriously in the title, but I don't know what they expected from the trailer. Even from the trailer, it didn't look like it was going to be some blockbuster Steven Spielberg type writing in here.
Yeah, and I mean, it basically looked like a cat and mouse. Should a cop trying to track down a killer for revenge? You could go from there. And I will say about this movie, I think it is very basic, okay? And I think if you come in really expecting like hard horror to hit, which with serial killer movies, you don't really get heavily. It's not like Ghostface or Michael Myers or Jason, where you're really expecting the horror from like these beings that just can't be killed. It's like, this is just a basic dude who's out with a plan, which I respect that, because how many movies do we have these super killers who you can't do anything with? So the fact that he can be hurt, the fact that our cop hero technically can be hurt, we've already seen one of the cops dies. It was like it's not that hard to see people die in this movie because there's a ton of deaths, but it seems like a very basic premise. And I will say this, there is some stuff lacking, but we got Georgina, what's her last name real quick? Georgia Campbell, who from Barbarian. And for example, talk about like movie title names, Barbarian, Long Legs, like these movie types like this, like it's like, okay, like they got something crazy. Weapons, I could tell from the title, like they got something here that's maybe underneath the surface. Like you said, Psycho Killer, like it's very basically and drawn out for that. And I will say like a couple points here. Walking out, I like this movie. I understand it was going to be basic. I don't love it. I don't think it's great, but I like it. But it was basically like, I'm having fun. And I feel like the thing people are missing here is this movie is very much not taking itself too seriously. I think it's very much tongue in cheek with the murders in here. Like this killer, these Psycho Killer have a name. It's just Psycho Killer. That's it on the credits. But Psycho Killer played by what's his name? James Preston's something. James Preston Rogers. Yeah, he basically just plays killer. So what I do like about this, he's got a lot of style, Scotty. Like you talk about killers, like the way he kills people inopportune, like catches them in the car, especially the one by the highway where he catches the couple over there changing a tire and takes them out and sidesteps the truck as it's like leaving past him. Like he has some style, so it actually makes him interesting here. I think Georgina Campbell's character, she's pretty basic and dry a bit. I will say she's not really the fun, but I think this movie wants to point you to like, and also to something they did here that most movies don't do. The killer and Georgina Campbell's character both get the same amount of screen time. Like he gets a ton of screen time as you're seeing him going through things. Now I will say the one thing that always threw me off was his modded voice. Like it just gave him deep voice 6 and just rose with that through the movie.
I don't think he needed that at all. Because I thought at the end that they were going to show his face when they had that big reveal, if you want to say at the end. I said, okay, they're going to take the voice modulator off. Maybe he'll say something. They never took that off. But back to what you were saying about the whole, they're doing it from the killer's perspective and from the cop's perspective. It's like split in two. I really like that because I can't stand horror movies and thriller movies where the cop is chasing the killer the whole movie and all you see is a cop's thing. Or I don't like the movies where the killer is chasing one person the entire movie. I don't like that either. So I like that it was split. And I thought the killer parts were a lot more interesting than Georgina Campbell's part. Because like you said, Georgina Campbell is just dry. Hey, he's on Route 1. I'm on the way. I got tired of hearing that. He's in the house. I got him. But this killer was walking with a purpose the whole movie. Like my favorite scene when he rolls up to that devil cult in the mansion.
Yeah, man, the cult.
And the leader of the cult named Malcolm McDowell, who I know you might remember him from the Halloween remake 2007. He was he was Dr. Loomis. I like him a lot. So I saw his face. I didn't see him in the trailer, but I saw his face during that scene. I said, "Oh, it's about to get good." Because Malcolm McDowell was always over the top and everything is in. He's over the top in this one.
Yeah, he's over the top.
I think the surrounding characters of this movie, even the killer, I like all those characters a lot. I just didn't like the main character. Which I'm glad I didn't get her the whole movie.
Yeah, I feel like they wanted to point really the action and kind of the captivation of the story to the killer. Because like he's really doing a lot. He's on this mission. You don't know really his plan is. He's leaving symbols. He's going across. He's very a stylistic killer. He's always painting signs, and it's like, but also too, it's kind of cool because he's just doing his own thing. Like he's like vibing out on this road trip. Like, yeah, I'm gonna kill people. I'm gonna get this stuff done. I got a plan. You don't know what the plan is until you get more towards the end of like what he's gonna do. But I was a fan of that, and especially like I think by the time you get to the cult, you know what type of movie this is. Like if you thought it was like more serious, because I went and watched it with somebody who doesn't really do horror. They don't like horror. They like jump scares like that. They're over there having like a fun time because it's like, this really isn't like a horror. It's got horror elements, which is cool. And if you look at it here, I don't think comedy is written. Let me see if it's in the genre. Yeah, it's horror, mystery, and thriller. So comedy's not really written here in the description, which may throw some people off, like something like The Monkey, where you know it's comedy. But if you're watching a movie, you can clearly tell like this director is trying to have fun. This director hasn't done too much. It's Gavin Polone. He didn't have anything to write home about that I saw him do. But I felt like he was like, okay, if you take this too seriously, this is going to get stupid real fast. And I think if they had gone that direction of doing maybe a little too much, where they didn't have the story to follow it would have got stupid real fast. But one thing they also did not do, they did not build this up and do something crazy that they couldn't pay off. And there's a ton of movies, Long Legs, Together, let me see, Him, the example movies that built something crazy up. It could not pay it off at the end, even closely. And you're like, the hell was that? This one, it's like, I get to the end and I'm like, all right, cool. It's short. Yeah. I rode with that story. The killer was very interesting. Gave me some laugh out loud funny scenes. Also has some nice kills in there. And I'm over here like, okay, like I'm cool with that. You give me something I can walk in. This movie's only an hour and a half. It's not 2 hours, not 2 hours plus. Entertaining parts. There's some split parts and maybe some boring and some lulls, but decently entertaining parts. I'm in an hour and a half. I'm cool. You don't need to pay the full price for this, but I can watch it at home. I can catch it in a matinee, and I can walk out saying, you know what? That was all right. Wasn't terrible. Wasn't great. But I look here, 0%. And audience are at about 30. So Scott, I want to run down a little list for you. These are some movies. I did this just for you. These are some movies that have rated better than Psycho Killer recently. This one's for me. The Monkey. I absolutely hated The Monkey. I don't think that movie's. I thought the comedic
the comedy based on that short story, right?
Yeah, the chimp. I did not care for that at all. That
was a background movie for me. Go ahead though.
Yeah, Long Legs, which you hated.
Long Legs had. Oh man, that first 15 minutes of Long Legs had me locked in. and then after that, the movie just went straight to
Yeah,
hell. How was that rated higher?
It went. I can see why it's rated higher because I think Long Legs is a decent movie. I think it's better than this for the part, but it doesn't pay anything off that it sets up, and that's the problem. Once you get past Nicolas Cage, that movie goes
And
kind of
Nicolas
off the
Cage
rails.
is just an ashy guy. He's not. I thought they told me. Remember they said in that movie, he was so scary that he was scaring people on the set, like the way he looked. He's just ashy.
Yeah, I never believed that unless they had his face all contorted and stuff. I was like, unless his face is like half axed, like unless he's Two-Face, I'm not buying that. Together, a movie I hated that had absolutely was dumb from almost the start, and the reveal just didn't make any sense.
I didn't finish that movie, and you know, when it comes to horror movies, I've finished some of the worst movies. I did not finish together at all. I didn't even believe that they were in this situation. I was like, it's like, nah, I'm not. No, I'm good. Turn it off.
Yeah. Okay. I got this one for you. The Strangers Chapter 2.
Huh? 2?
Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is rated way above this.
Wait, what's it rated?
I think it's like 55. I can check for you. Go ahead. I'll check for you real
Chapter
quick.
3 just came out recently. And if you watch Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, Chapter 3 is great if you compare it to those two movies. All because, and it's funny because if you give all three of the movies a percentage score, it's like 70% just from 1 and 3 because it can't get above that because number 2 was so bad. Number 2, Strangers Part 2 may have been written one of the worst horror movies I have seen in the past 5 years. And that's including like the indie films that you know are going to be terrible. I had no fun with that movie. It was like a cat and mouse game gone wrong. There's a scene I was telling you about where the masked people are chasing her and they can't catch up to her. So they go to this barn, and I guess it's somehow their barn, one of their barns, even though it's never been established that they own it or anything. They only go there that one time ever in the whole series. They open up the barn door, and it's a wild hog, or I guess it's a trained hog. It's a trained hog, and they let it smell a piece of her clothing. This hog is probably about 400 pounds, and it's CGI to death. And the hog hunts her down for 3 miles and starts to whoop her down. And then she ends up killing the hog. That was one of the worst scenes I have seen. You had this hog the whole time that could track anybody for it, no matter how it was, and he's a vicious demon hog. I thought, oh boy, that scene. And then all the red herrings in that movie were terrible. All of the characters were terrible.
Richard, you really hated that movie.
Richard Brake was in that movie, and Richard Brake has he's been in a lot of Rob Zombie flicks, like that movie 31 that you refused to finish. But he was the main villain. I think he was a clown. He has the face for horror, not his natural face, but he knows how to contort his face. He knows how to have that nice little evil smile. They gave him no lines or anything to do in the second movie. He's just a sheriff that keeps getting food at this diner for 7 hours a day.
So that's what he does.
Everyone in that movie, everyone in that whole series, but everyone in that movie just had nothing to do except for Madeline Pesh, the main girl. That movie is terrible. I expected that movie to be like a 4%.
No, it's actually 14% critics, which this one's 0. So above that, the 55% audience. So not a good movie, I will say, but it's rated higher than this one.
That's crazy.
A movie I hated, Him, which I told that's when I called you and I said, don't go see that shit. Like I hated Him. You thought it was okay, but I absolutely despise that movie. I just thought it was a Jordan Peele. Somebody. Him's actually, hold on, give me a minute. I don't have all these ratings right up, but Him is rated way higher. Yeah, I hated Him. I thought this was somebody cosplaying Jordan Peele. 30% critics, 56% audience. It was not rated high, but well above this. Another movie you love.
I'd give it like a 60.
Yeah, another movie you love, Bring Her Back. It's rated well above. The people actually really like Bring Her Back, but you hated that movie.
Wait, people liked it.
It's rated pretty well here, but the one for you that I really wrote down, Until Dawn.
Until Dawn, one of the worst video game movies of all time.
is rated well above this. So not to get too much candy on other movies, but I just think we get to sometimes we're at a point where one is this people don't like this movie, or a lot of people don't like it, or won't see it because people are saying they don't like it. I always despise. I say go watch it for yourself. I think this is a movie without in jumping into it. I think the cult scene's a lot of fun in this movie. We're sort of in the middle. It takes a good portion. I think it's very fun. I think they play around with it, and you're just waiting for him to massacre this cult because you can tell they're on a different level. I think some of the cat and mouse stuff is cool. Her trying to track him down. She's listening to the podcast. She's investigating. The FBI is pretty weak in this movie. I don't think they add too much. Yeah, they don't do nothing at all. So I that is a big flaw. But I just think the kill is interesting enough where it's like it's an hour and a half. It's cool seeing this guy kill people. I think some of his kills are creative. Like I said, I like the highway kill. I like the cult killings. Some of the people did. I love that scene where like he has this plan to do sort of like a terrorist attack, and like he just hides in this guy's garage and scares the hell out of him when he and his wife walk in because he's just standing there. I thought that was pretty fun. It's just a ton of cheek here. So while it does have its flaws, I definitely think this is a movie you can watch at home and have fun with. I would say matinee is probably not worth paying for unless you really like you don't have too much to watch and you want to check it out. I'd say like I don't think you're gonna leave disappointed, but I think you watch it at home. That's a perfectly fine movie. I think it's run the mill. I think it's just average. So I think critics are really missing the kind of the point here of we're not taking this too seriously. We want to have fun. We don't want to go the long legs route without something to pay off or together or any of these other or him. And you get to the end and you don't really have anything. You're like, what'd you build that up for? Even the twist they try to throw in there to make it someone like those movies doesn't make any sense. So it's like, yeah, just leave that out. Like cut that last 5 minutes out. He's gone.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to talk about him anymore.
I really like. I'm not like you said. I'm not gonna say it's a great movie, but if you just want to have like a horror movie or a thriller movie where you just want to have fun and look at it's, and it's also shot pretty well. Like if you're gonna just see some stuff and have fun, this is a movie for you. I'd give it run of the mill too, which is pretty much average movie. Yeah. It's just one part of the story, obviously, that I didn't like. I would have liked a lot more when they said it was the guy. The story just made no sense because the guy back in the day was trying to do that same attack in the same area at the same nuclear plant, and they stopped him. And they said he died. The FBI said he died. And then at the end, for the last like 15 minutes, they allude to no, he didn't die. This is the same guy who was a preacher turned crazy Satanist. And I was like, well, did he dig himself out of the grave somehow? Because the FBI is the one who took care of him.
They don't have a reason for that. So
and this guy's jacked too. One thing
the dude is huge. Yeah. I think he played Hulk Hogan in something else.
This is Jason Voorhees if he worked out more. Like he is very, very big and really imposing. I also liked when he's in the hotel scene. And instead of him being unaware of being in the shower, you see before the scene where the cop comes in, he always sleeps in the closet with a shotgun in his hands. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I thought that was a really cool touch to everything. So that killer was really prepared. He didn't try to do anything unnecessary. I like a killer with a plan. Most of these slasher people, their plan is I'm going to kill these people in broad daylight. I hope the police don't get me, and somehow they never will because they're incompetent. This guy was well aware of everything he had to do and where he had to be.
He moved methodically. He used a fake name, paid in cash, like all the stuff where if you don't want to get caught, you do. I mean, that's what he did. So I liked how he was rolling, and I could see the one thing here is probably the FBI would have everything flagged down the road. Like they would be on his ass. Yeah. But also it's like, and I feel like this, Scotty, this is one of those movies that is like, this really isn't a 2026 movie. This is like a 1984, just like a slasher film. And I don't know. I didn't hear the director talk. I didn't hear them going for that, but that's just the feel of it. Like we're making a classic horror movie where you could actually get away with stuff. Like if it was a little bit back in the day where we don't have modern technology a little bit, make it a little harder to catch these killers, I could definitely buy this. It is something like you say, you watch it at home, it's a popcorn flick. It's going to be quick. It's going to be over. Like, yo, y'all want to do a movie marathon? We'll throw Psycho Killer on and watch it. So I think it's run of the mill for us. I think critics are taking this like way too much. And I say like this: if it's something I can watch and have fun with, not take too seriously, we can talk about it for a little after and move on. I am not mad at that. I'd rather much that than I'm talking about this for an hour because I'm pissed after watching him or something like that. So I think they're a little wrong with that. But for Psycho Killer, I think it's run of the mill. I think it's solid. If somebody didn't watch it, I'd be like, hey, check it out. You'll probably like it. You don't got to travel for it. Stream it. Watch it at home. Have a good time with it. And it's an under $10 million budget. They didn't put a lot into this, man. So I just don't know what people are expecting.
Yeah, I'm surprised they put that much in there. I'm surprised they put a little bit over $1 million because I really, like I said, it was a nice, every scene was a regular scene. It wasn't anything spectacular. It was just a methodical slasher doing what he needed to do. I don't.
Yeah, what a plan.
0% is crazy. A 0%, like they rated Night Swim, Hard Eyes, and Clown in the Cornfield higher than that. And I'm like, and all those movies were just it's the same kind of like realm as this. Like
it's Clown in the Cornfield. Like it's simple. You get the plan. Night Swim, very simple. It doesn't have the bad tropes of some of those movies either, where it's like, I'm gonna complain about that. But they're like this movie. I'm like, the FBI kind of sucks, but the only really trope with the cult was fun. Like I had a good time. Like, that's the highlight of the movie for me. So. That's how I feel about Psycho Killer. If you haven't seen, I know we threw some spoiler stuff in there, but I mean, I would say check it out. I think it's fun, and I think you could have a good time with it, especially watching it at home. But it's really all we got there. Scotty, got anything else on the Psycho Killer? I
recommend y'all see that if you like
I do too.
Silly horror stuff. Go see it.
I do as well. So make sure you like that video. Down in the comments, let us know. Did you hate this movie like everyone else, or did you not mind it, or did you not see it yet? Let us know, because I know people are trying to influence. I never get that. Always watch a movie, man. Don't let nobody speak for you, not even us. So make sure you do that. Scotty, Minor League Films here, but if people aren't on YouTube, where can they find us at?
Minor League Films on everything. We got Minor League Shorts on YouTube and TikTok, and Corona Comics on TikTok, where I mostly talk about comic books, sometimes horror movies. Sometimes I make fun of horror movie characters.
There you go. All right, make sure Corona Comics, Minor League Films, and More Love Shorts, all that stuff is down in the bio. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, all that good stuff. We will catch you next time.